3 times negative 1,000. Think of it as 3 separate piles, each worth negative 1,000. Stack them together and you have negative 1,000, negative 2,000, negative 3,000. So 3 times negative 1,000.
We need 3 of these, negative 500s. Stack them together and you get a total of negative 1,500. 3 times negative 500 equals negative 1,500.
3 times negative 100. What does that really mean? It means we add negative 100 3 times. Negative 100 plus another. Stack them up.
Here's 3 copies of negative 50. Stack them together and you get negative 150. Because each time we move another 50 to the left on the number line, we land farther in the negatives. 3 jumps of minus 50.
Let's work out 3 times negative 20. Think of it as adding negative 20 3 times. Negative 20 plus negative 20 plus negative 20 equals negative 60. So 3 times negative 20 is...
We start with 3 times negative 15, drop in an equal sign, and here's what it becomes. 3 groups of negative 15 add up to negative 40 minus 5. Positive times negative, the answer is negative.
What happens when you multiply 3 by negative 10? Think of it as 3 jumps of negative 10 on a number line. First jump, you're at negative 10. Second, negative 20. Third, negative 30.
How can you add 3 times negative 5? Think of multiplication as repeated addition. Negative 5 added 3 times is negative 5 plus negative 5 plus negative 5. Stack them together.
Think of 3 times negative 3 as 3 groups of minus 3. Each group drops us 3 steps left on the number line. 1, 2, 3 groups. We land on negative 9. So 3 times negative 3 equals negative 9.
3 times negative 2? Think of it as adding negative 2 3 times. Start at 0, move left 2, again, and once more. Where did we land? Negative 6. So 3 times...
Here we have 3 times minus 1. Let's add the equal sign. And now the answer. 3 times negative 1 equals negative 3.
3 times negative 0. Kinda weird, right? Here's what it really means. 3 groups of negative 0 is just 0, 0, and 0. Put them together, still 0, because 0 isn't positive or negative.
3 times Bronoro equals 0. How can that be? 3 of something, yet still nothing. A colorful little mystery.
Here's a little math magic. We start with 3 times 0. And what do we get? 0. Every time. Any number you multiply by 0.
3 times 100th. Here's what that looks like. 100th plus another plus another. Add them up and you get 0.03. 300ths in all. That's 3 times
3 times 1/10 equals 3/10. Or simply, 3 times 0.1 is 0.3.
Here's how you add 3 times 0.25. Think of 0.25 as a quarter. Stack 3 of those quarters together. 1, 2, 3. A quarter plus a quarter.
3 times a half. That's 3 halves. Stack them together, and you don't just get a half, you get 1 1/2. Like pouring 3 half-full glasses into 1 big cup. It fills to 1 1/2.
Let's take 3 and multiply it by 3 quarters. 1 set of 3 quarters, 2, and a third. Altogether, that makes 2.25. So 3 times
1. Simple enough. Equals 3. But life isn't always math. One mistake, 1 second, and the answer changes.
¿Ves estos números? Vamos a juntarlos. 3 por 1 y al otro lado otro 3. Así es. 3 veces 1 es igual a
3 times 2 equals 6. That's multiplication magic.
3 por 2. 3 manzanas en cada fila, 2 filas. En la pizarra también. 3 por 2 es 6. 3 por 2 y tendrás 6.
3 times 3. Multiply one set of 3s by another set of 3s, and what do you get? A total of 9. Easy, tasty math.
3 times 4 equals 12.
That's right, 3 groups of 4 or 4 groups of 3. Either way.
3 times 5 equals 15. That's a bunch of 5s all added together. 3 groups, 5 each. Nice!
Here's a fun way to see what 3 times 6 means. We have 3 groups of 6 beads. Slide them together and count them all up. There are 18 beads, so 3 times 6 makes 18.
Here's a fun fact. When the purple 3 teams up with the black 7, something magical happens. 3 times 7 equals 21. That's right.
3 times 8? Think of it as adding 8 3 times. 8 plus 8 plus 8 equals 24. Same total, same math.
3 times 9. Think of it as 9 added 3 times 9 plus 9 plus 9. The first two 9s make 18, and one more 9 brings us to 27. So
3 times 10 is equal to 30. 30 marbles lined up in 3 perfect rows of 10. 3 groups, 10 in each. 3 times 10 equals 30. Simple and kind of beautiful, right?
3 times 11. Stack them up, multiply, and watch the magic happen. The answer shines bright 33. 3 times 11 equals 33.
Ready? 3 times 12. Let's throw 3 punches. 1, 2, 3. And just like that, the answer pops out 36. Math knocked out.
3 times 20 equals 60. That's right. 3 groups of 20 make 60 altogether. Math magic. Done.
We started with 3 plus 30. Flip the sign. Now it's 3 times 30. And 3 times 30? 90.
Think of it as 50 plus 50 plus 50 more. Stack them together and you get 150. 3 times 50? Yeah, it all adds up.
Here's a quick way to add 3 times 100. First 100, second 100, and a third. Put them together or think of it as 100 times 3. Either way, it lands on the same total, 300.
Here's a fun way to see what 3 times 200 really means. Think of it as 3 stacks of 200 each. Slide them together, 200 plus 200 plus 200, and watch them add up to 6
times 500. Could you just add it? Sure, that's 500 plus 500 plus another 500, and that stacks up to 1,500. Boom, easy math magic. 3 times 500.
3 times 1,000 doesn't have to be tricky. Think of it like adding 1,000 again and again. Stack them together, 1, 2, 3, and you land on 3,000.
How can you add 3 times 2,000? Start with a problem. 3 multiplied by 2,000. Think of it as 3 groups of 2,000. Add them up. 2,000, 4,000, 6.
3 times 5,000? Think of it like adding 5,000 3 times. Stack them up. 5,000 plus 5,000 plus 5,000, that totals 15,000. Yep, 3 times 5,000.
10,000. Add another 10,000. That's 20. Add one more. 30,000. Yep, you can add 3 times 10,000.
3 times 20,000 makes 60,000.
3 times 50,000, that's 150,000. Pretty big number, right? You did it.
3 times 100,000 equals 300,000. That's a lot of zeros. 3 times 100,000, 300,000.
Here's 3. Multiply it by 1 million. Looks huge, right? But watch closely. A million is just a 1 with 6 zeros. So when we multiply, we simply slide those zeros over. 3 becomes 3 million. It's like
3 times 5 million.
Wait, did you just add 3 times 5 million?
That's 15 million. Simple math. Big number.
Wild. I need a bigger calculator.
1 billion plus another billion plus one more. That makes, boom, 3 billion. Can you add it? 3 times 1 billion?
Here's 1 trillion, and another, and one more. Add them all together. Boom, that's 3 trillion. 3 times 1 trillion equals 3 trillion. Simple, but seriously.
What's 3 times 10 to the 15th power? That's a 1 with 15 zeros. Multiply it by 3 and you get 3 quadrillion. That's $3 million.
Well, colossal 10 to the 18th power. That's 3 quintillion. Picture it. 3 billion billions. A number so massive it reshapes the scale of everything we know. 3 times 3 Googles. Sounds huge, right? It's just 3 times 10 to the 100th. So think of it as 3 plus 3 plus 3, and then tack on a Google. Add them up. 3, that's 9.
That giant number 3 times 10 to the 303rd power? That's called a centillion. Now if you've got 3 of those, you just add them up. 3 centillion. Same mind-blowing size, just tripled. Sometimes
Start with 3, multiply it by 10 to the power of 100, what we call a Google. Now push that exponent even further. 10 raised to a Google is a Googleplex. And when you triple it, you get this colossal number.
How can you 3 times infinity? Start with 3 of anything. 3 planets, 3 pizzas, 3 of you. Now aim it at infinity. You might expect some giant number, but infinity doesn't.
3 times omega. Stack the power, triple the symbol. Do it! 3 times omega. Power unlocked.
How can you add 3 times absolute infinity? Start with one endless loop. Add another, and another.
3 times the absolute of 1 becomes infinite.
3 times the power. Absolute Omega times 3. Strength intensified. Energy multiplied. This is 3x Absolute Omega.